use it. But if you remember, please use the Q&A panel and not the chat panel for your questions. At the end of the webinar, you will have the opportunity to ask your question live if you raise your hand, and we will unmute your line to give you the opportunity to ask your question live. Well, with all of that, we're excited to bring you this session. We want these sessions to be impactful and beneficial for you. So at the end of the session, we ask that you stay on. We will be posting a poll requesting for your feedback as it informs us of the other things you want to see in these sessions. So having said all of that, I would like to invite the Syntara team to present. First off, I will hand it over to Jenna Lackey, Account Executive for SAP Solutions on behalf of Syntara. Jenna?
Hi, and thank you, Ellen. I really appreciate that introduction. Let's see, let Ben kind of pull up our presentation and I'll get started. So first, today, I'd just like to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy day to learn more about our Work Zone customer portal. I'd like to give you a brief introduction to my team, our organization, and the solution before passing the mic for a solution demo and Q&A. My name is Jenna Lackey. I'm an SAP Solutions Account Executive and Customer Success Liaison. And I'm joined today by Benjamin Mosinger, our Lead Solutions Architect, Samir Nair, our SAP BTP Cloud Platform Architect, and our CEO, Nushan Yazhari, who's in transit at the airport. She may or may not join. And Ben, you can go to the next slide. So Syntara is an SAP-focused advisory and consulting firm. We provide technology services and solutions with a primary focus on SAP S/4HANA and SAP Business Technology Platform. Our passion is truly rooted in a customer success, project adoption, and digital transformation. We've worked with a variety of organizations across different landscapes and industry and the mid-market and large enterprise, and are focused on continuing to drive successful transformation across the board, whether it be through SAP Build and Work Zone, BTP, S/4HANA, etc. And we can go to the next slide, Ben. So if you're wondering if what our customer portal solution does, if it's appropriate for you and your team, it's pretty simple. The landscape that this solution sits on, SAP S/4HANA Cloud, Public and Private Edition, SAP Business ByDesign, and SAP Business One. It's an SAP native, cloud native solution, and it's ready to implement. It's an out-of-the-box solution. However, it's highly customizable and scalable to grow with your e-commerce business or your business in general. But it also has a very quick deployment between 2 and 4 weeks, so you can hit the ground running and start testing out the product and how it can transform your e-commerce business and make it just a lot more efficient and simple to utilize. And that's what we're really focused on here, is a user-friendly order management system. Our solution is budget-friendly option in this space for e-com organizations, business to business, and B2C organizations as well. Okay. So there may be some challenges that your organization is experiencing that our solution could tackle and help you overcome. Are you reliant on paper-based processes? Do you experience the lack of integration with your sales order processes? It causes delivery delays, customer frustration, and an overall lack of real-time data. Are you reliant on administrators to create and change your business orders, your customer orders, which of course makes you suspect to issues with errors, with human error, and with additional delays, slowdown, and customer dissatisfaction? Are you experiencing a very complex order processes system? Are your processes clunky, inefficient, outdated, not integrated, just making more kind of roadblocks with your organization to something that should be a pretty simple system and process that you can rely on? And of course, not having that real-time data about your inventory, not being able to understand where your inventory levels are at any given time, and throwing a wrench in your plans when it comes to ordering, supply chain, and being able to adapt to what's happening in the ecosystem with supply chain, your suppliers, and your inventory. And of course, order management errors. I think that that's something that kind of would happen with all these different challenges, but at the end of the day, these challenges lead to both a frustration within your own teams and organizations, issues with communication and real-time data. At the end of the day, that affects your customer satisfaction and your ability to sell and to drive revenue for your company. So today, we don't want to kill you with death by PowerPoint. We really want to kind of lay out what our solution does and give anyone on this webinar the opportunity to ask questions and engage with our team after our demo to learn a little bit more and to ask how maybe our solution would affect your organization or how you could leverage it based on your company's specific needs. We'll also be giving away a little bit of a freebie at the end, and I'll go over that after our demo and Q&A, just to give anyone on this webinar the ability to really understand and have a look and feel of what our solution will be for your organization down the road. So with that said, I'm going to pass the mic to Ben. He is going to do a solution demonstration for us, and then we'll give everybody an opportunity to ask questions. And please don't hesitate to add your questions into the chat, to raise your hand if you have something that you'd like to say. And we'd like this to be a discussion as well as a presentation. So kick it to you, Ben.
All right, thank you, Jenna. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. I am going to show you a self-service portal option that is based on BTP Work Zone. And I believe that that can massively simplify your order management solutions as you have them in place right now. And as part of that, I'm going to show you a snapshot of what that solution looks like, what it feels like, what it can do for you, and specifically two main functions, the shopping cart and the order tracking function. So the shopping cart is basically a user-friendly way to check out an order into a backend ERP system. And as part of that, I'm going to show you a catalog-based shopping cart that works really well for standardized product portfolios. So that really helps you to bring your products from the backend ERP system into the Work Zone portal, where they can then be consumed. I'm also going to show you real-time stock information, how you can look up real-time stock information on the portal, and can figure out what you can order during the day. So there may be products that are not in stock, and you will know that on the portal when you try to check out a product. I'm also going to show you the checkout process, and we believe it is quick and intuitive. We wanted to make sure that the order process is as easy for the end user as possible, as seamless, similar to what you know from your Amazon e-commerce experience, very user-friendly and not clunky. So with that, let me jump into the actual solution. And what you can see on the screen here is our Work Zone portal. I'm not sure if you can see this thing at the bottom here. For some reason, there seems to be a lag with the PPT, but the solution should still work. So let's jump into the shopping cart. And in the shopping cart, the first thing that you're going to see is the promo section. A promo section would be a great option for you guys to promote certain products or to promote certain features of your e-com portal, payment via credit cards, free shipping, referral programs, things like that. And we can set that up based on your needs. The promoted item section is also super important and helpful, because this is where you can pin products that you want to push during a certain time of the year. So if you want to promote a certain product, you can pin that here, and that can also be set up. The recently viewed item section and the favorite section are basically what makes it easier for the user to consume products. This is where you can basically see what you looked at in the past based on the catalog that you can see on the left-hand side. The favorites that have been pinned here that could be checked out at some point. On the left-hand side here, you can see the catalog, and these are basically material master objects that come directly from the backend ERP. This is a great way to organize your products, and as you can see here, as I'm scrolling down, there are a lot of categories. So if you have a very deep product catalog, this is basically where you could organize it. So let's jump into one of these categories real quick, and I'm going to show you what you can find there. This is one of the products that come directly from the backend ERP system. You can see header information. You can see information that comes directly from the ERP system. You can see pricing information, and this ties in with the price lists that could be updated in the backend ERP system, and all of those changes are going to be reflected in real time in the portal. And you can also see, and this is super important for us, you can see if products are in stock. So if something is not in stock, you're not going to be able to check it out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move two of these products into the shopping cart real quick. And as you can see, with the click of a button, we can move it into the shopping cart. And now let's go back real quick and jump into the shopping cart so that you can see what it looks like. So this is your cart. On the left-hand side, you can see that there are different products already in the cart that could be checked out at some point. What you will want to have as part of the shopping cart is a save for later section. So you have that here as well. So you can move things into the save for later section if you don't want to check them out right away. So let's do that real quick. You can also make changes here if you want to throw something out of the shopping cart because you feel like you don't want to purchase it. That's fine. You can do that here. You can make other changes. And once you're happy with what you have in the shopping cart, you can save those changes with the click of a button and start the checkout process. Now, if you click on proceed, you're going to go to an itemized overview of the different items that you just moved into the shopping cart or that you had in the shopping cart already. You want to make sure that what you order is correct. So here you have the different pictures that come as part of the catalog so that you know what you have in the shopping cart, pricing information. All of that seems to be okay. And with that, we can go to step 2, where we can leave an address. This could either come from the master data in the backend ERP system, or you could leave an address, post an address in here if you wanted to. Let me do that real quick. And once everything is defined, we can go to step 3, where we can select a shipping method. The shipping method is going to determine the shipping charges that are going to be linked to this order and invoiced as part of the invoice order to cash process. And it is also going to determine certain logic that is then triggered in the ERP backend system once the order has been submitted. Now, we want to go to the order summary, and the order summary will really tell us what we're trying to check out. So you can see the different products here that we added, invoice address, shipment type, etc., shipping address. All of that seems to be okay. If things need to be changed, you can always click here, make your changes. So that just takes us one step back. And if everything is okay, we can go to order summary and submit the order. Now, as you can see, with a few clicks, we were able to create the order in a pretty straightforward, guided fashion. So a great self-service option to push sales orders into the backend ERP system. Now, this is the order number. The backend ERP system is now going to send an email confirmation, order confirmation. And what we want to do now is jump into the next part of the demo, the order tracking function. So we worked with one particular client and had a lot of back and forth, a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls and things like that, questions that could have been easily answered via self-service portal. And that created a lot of overhead for this particular client. So the idea was to simplify the order tracking process for this client, and that's basically what I'm going to show you during the next part of the demo. You're going to see that it is very easy to navigate to a sales order within seconds, to look up relevant order information that you may want to look up at some point without having to call somebody or send an email. And you're also going to see the real-time order and shipping status to know what is happening to your order in real time. And we also want to show you our parcel tracking with UPS feature that basically allows you to jump from the order right into the UPS tracking site, where you can then see where your order is in the shipping journey. So with this, let's go back to the landing page. Just 1 second. All right, here we go. Now let's jump into the order tracking tile. And here you can see that there are different sales orders that have been created over time, that have been submitted to the backend system and have been processed. We're going to look specifically for the order that we just created. Here it is. This is our order. When we click on it, we can see the different items that have been checked out and some of the information that was pushed into the backend ERP system. We can also see status on billing and shipping, and most importantly, we have the parcel tracking number here that helps us to jump right into the UPS site. So if we click on the parcel tracking number, it's going to take us to the UPS website with that code, and it's going to pull up where our product is in the shipping journey. So instead of having to go to a different site or having to pull up the UPS site, we can simply click here and get to the tracking details that we're looking for.
Ben,
now,
we have a quick question in the chat. Do we have chatbot capabilities, or is that something that could be added as a customizable element within the solution at this time?
At this time, we do not have that, but I believe with Joule, that could be part of a future product feature, to sort of use a chatbot to create the order instead of having to go into the shopping cart here.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
We can go into more detail into that topic later in the Q&A section, because I'm not exactly sure what specifically was being asked. So if somebody could clarify in the chat, that would help us later in the Q&A section to kind of go deeper into that topic. Perfect. Let me jump back to the slide deck real quick. We're going to recap a few things that you guys are going to gain from this solution. Sorry about that. All right. So what are you guys going to gain from a solution like this? With the right use cases, you're going to be able to massively simplify the order process. The order process is going to be quicker, it's going to be easier, less mistakes. It is going to save time on both ends and keep all of us happy. The solution that we showed you is a starting point. It is a solution that can scale. So there are more areas that we would like to be part of this solution and that are going to come out over time, like dispute management, credit card payments, pulling up of documents like invoices, credit memos. The idea is that you guys can start small on a e-com starter pack solution that comes at a very good price point, and then scale the solution as you grow. So if you're looking for a starting point in e-commerce or something to simplify order management, the solution is basically what you're looking for. The other thing that I want to mention is quick insights. We want to know what is going on in the backend ERP, especially if we're a client and if you want to see where order is, get questions answered like how much is in stock, has my order been submitted, where's my shipment right now? All of that can be looked up through the portal and frees up folks in the order management, and basically makes our operations leaner and folks happy. The other thing that I want to mention is lower TCO. The TCO for the solution is pretty low. If you're purchasing a full-blown e-commerce solution, you're going to have to assign a certain check for it. It's going to be complex to get it in place, and you may not be looking for a complex, robust e-com solution. So if you're looking for a starter pack that comes at a smaller price tag, this solution will really help you. It is therefore, I believe, a perfect starting point for somebody trying to get into e-commerce, somebody who wants to try it out, or somebody who wants to expand without having to go all into e-commerce. And what is also good to mention is that we can get the solution up and running between 2 to 4 weeks. So it is not going to take a lot of time to get up and running, especially if you go with the standard out-of-the-box version, as I showed it today during the demo. And with this, you're probably curious how a solution could be set up, what a project would look like. And for this, I'm going to turn it over to Samir, who is going to walk us through a little bit of the system architecture and what needs to be set up on BTP.
Sure. And for the questions in the Q&A, thank you. Please keep those coming. And we'll tackle those after Samir kind of walks through this slide that gets more into the architecture component. But we're keeping those, and we'll definitely speak to these questions here in just a few moments. So keep those coming. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jenna and Ben. Hi, everyone. This is Samir. I'll walk you through the high-level architecture of this product, what we have created. So the product has been built up using BTP services. We are using a Work Zone portal as our main component to it. And the product itself is running on our Cloud Foundry runtime with AWS Hyperscaler. It is a backend agnostic system product. So basically, if you have any kind of backend system, S/4HANA, on-premise, cloud, SAP ByDesign, Business One, we can hook up this product with that backend. Essentially, we just need the APIs to be exposed from these products, which we consume in this product, and that's how all the information will be fetched on this portal. So the UI piece is built up on SAP UI5 technology, and again, it is deployed using Business Application Studio, which is the development tool available from SAP, and it is used to develop, deploy, and manage the product. The product at a client side, you don't need any installation. It is a browser-based solution, so you can run it on a browser, either on a laptop, tablet, mobile phone, any device which has a browser-based capabilities can work it through. In order to do the authentication to this product, we can hook up your Active Directory with identity services. We are using IAS here, through which we can let your users, either internal and external, log into this solution using your own company's email ID. So you don't have to create net new IDs. We can certainly use your existing credentials to log into this product. Even if you want to extend this thing to your end customer, where you don't want them to be part of your Active Directory, we still have a solution where we can manage all those end customers through through identity services. For your backend services, if it is S/4HANA backend on-premise system or any other on-premise system, we would have the Cloud Connector configured to connect to those services. If it is on cloud system, then we will directly use destination services to connect to your backend system. So that's the very high level architecture, for the product. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, back to Ben.
Perfect. Thanks, Samir. I think we're ready to jump into the Q&A section. So yeah, let's get started with that.
All right. Thanks, Ben. I see a few questions. I will let Jenna and the team go through it. Just keep your questions coming, folks. And like I said, if you want to ask your question live, raise your hand and we will unmute your line. Jenna?
Thanks, Lynn. Okay, our first question is, how feasible is this to customize the portable to show up different categories of products based on things like geography or customers?
Okay, I'm going to let Samir take that one to talk about how that would work with the backend ERP system.
Yes, absolutely. We can customize the portal to show up your categories of the products. Like either if you want to say, for example, if you're launching a portal globally and you have a customer who is in Germany and he wants to, order the product which is only available in Germany. So we can add up a section where either we can control all the products by the master data for that customer through which location it is logging in, or through the product where these products are available, or in which location they are available. So for example, if you have it for Germany, we can only load Germany products. If you have it in US, we can only load US products. So yes, that can be customizable to this portal.
Great, thanks, Samir. Our next question has to do with security. So what security features are available, or are there any built-in security features as this is an internet-facing app?
Yeah, so Samir, I think you could probably create more context around that as well.
Yes, sure. So like I said, earlier, that first of all, the security feature is the login access. So the way to log into the portal is using your Active Directory. So you will get, so how if you currently have a solution where your users are logging in and they are getting authenticated using your Active Directory, the same Active Directory can be hooked up with this product, and only the legit users which are already part of your Active Directory will get access to this portal. So that way, no other users can get into this particular portal without your knowledge. So that's number one. Number two, this is hosted on an hyperscaler of your choice, either AWS, Azure, GP. So those hyperscalers have their own security measures as well, so that there is no access violations or any other kind of security threats which is happening on this portal. So that takes care of the other piece where unauthorized access or unauthorized creation of random orders can be prevented.
Thanks, Samir. And Vinod, this webinar is pretty specific, yes, on this particular solution, which is a focus on the customer portal solution. If you have any kind of more in-depth questions, feel free to add that to the chat and we'll tackle that. Our next question is, are customers able to start and or manage a returns process through this portal?
Yeah, so that is currently not part of the out-of-the-box stack, but that could easily be provided as a module if you wanted that. Yeah, that's a simple answer.
That's great. So I'll give everybody kind of an option. Please raise your hand if you have any other questions or about kind of the functionality or the technology behind our customer portal solution.
So Jenna, thank you. While we are waiting for the other questions to come in, maybe you can talk a little bit about how much involvement is needed from a company's internal IT team to get this portal up and running on BTP.
Absolutely.
Samir,
Thanks,
that-
Lauren.
Samir, is that something you can speak to?
Yes,
How much support you
maybe
need from folks to set it up?
I was about to say that I can take that on. So yes, so we would need help from your IT team to understand what kind of solution you have in place. How are the data exposed to products like this in your existing landscape? In case if let's say the APIs is possible, if your solution is really old and you don't have a functionality which exposes the data using APIs, then we would have to understand, let's say, what is the other form of data through which we can connect this portal to your backend system. We might have to massage the data, transform the data using integration suite. It really depends on customer to customer what kind of solution they have. But yeah, we would need your IT support to understand your solution. They might not have to do anything, but we would need their help to understand what kind of landscape they have and how we can exchange data with this portal.
So maybe a follow-up question to that is, if we have folks who are interested in learning more, what is a typical next step? Do you folks offer an assessment? If so, how many days? Things like that. And basically, the question would be, how do they engage if they had any more questions or was wanting to do sort of an assessment of what is point A and how do they get to point B?
Thanks for asking that, Lynn. And Ben, if you go to the next slide, I'll kind of walk through what those next steps are. We also got a question in the chat that kind of layers on to this conversation. We were asked about the price point specifically. So it does, we do have to take a few factors into consideration to put together just a general quote, which we're happy to do. It really is dependent on kind of your current landscape and the size of your organization, your users, some things like that. So if you're interested in learning more, we really encourage you to reach out to us. My contact information is here. We'll send this deck out after the fact, so you'll have this to use. Also, please feel free to scan this QR code, and you can reach out either with additional questions to talk a little bit more about your organization, to try to get an understanding of the cost involved, or to schedule a free kind of holistic solution where we can really walk through your current landscape. And we're happy to give anybody that's interested on this webinar a 2-week trial period of the solution so that you can tinker with it, you can explore it and see if it's something that would be beneficial for you and your organization. So definitely encourage you to reach out, and we can get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty minutia questions during an assessment, which of course is no cost to you as a customer. Another quick question, which I think is great. Would this solution run in my BTP environment or in Syntara's?
Jenna, I'll take that on. So we do have both the options right now. The demo which you saw was on Syntara's environment, and this is our own environment where we have hosted the product, and we have our own S/4HANA where we have connected, and our own identity services which we are using. But in case if you have your own BTP environment, yes, we can use those services of your landscape. So in that case, what we'll do is we'll bring our product and we'll deploy it using your services. So basically, in that case, you will have your own BTP environment, you will have your own IaaS services, you will have your own Work Zone portals subscription running. So we will just bring in our code and deploy it to these applications, and we'll hook up to your backend system. For example, if you have a S/4HANA or Business One, and we'll configure the product and run it in your environment. If you want, on the other side, if you want us to host the solution and give you the solution as a subscription, that option is also there. But at this point, we really want to understand what will be more feasible in your case, whether for us the product hosting in our environment or in your environment. So, like as Jenna suggested, there is a free solution assessment which is there. We really want to understand through this assessment, and then we can propose you what will be the best solution for you.
Thanks, Samir. That was really helpful.
So last call for questions. All right. Well, great. I think I want to. I think we have one more question.
Let's see. Will, can we shed some light on the support process after implementation? Hopefully, we won't just leave you high and dry. And Ben and Samir, you might be able to give a little bit more of the specifics about how we can really support the company teams after we implement this product and make sure there's full adoption and they're happy with the product and it's moving smoothly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ben, you want to take it?
You can probably shed more light on it.
All right.
I was just going to say that we do hypercare support, but we also offer long-term support, but you can probably go more into the details of what that would look like. So if you want to
Absolutely,
add on
I was
to what
about
I said.
to say the same thing. So we do provide hypercare support after the implementation, and depending on how long we typically it's like 2 to 4 weeks of implementation. There's 2 to 3 weeks of hypercare support, but yes, we do have options for a long-term support like an AMS support on the product as well, which we can always discuss depending on how long you want the support.
Great. Well, I think that would be. Go ahead.
I think there's Elaine. There's another question from Mohan. What's the role of internal IT team? I believe when you say the role of internal IT team, like I just said, first we would need to sit with them and understand what is their current landscape, and I think what is there, how we can, how this portal can get connected to your backend system. So that is where your internal IT team would be. We will talk to your internal IT team to understand the landscape. Necessarily, it is not that the IT team has to do something. They might have to just share the landscape and other technical details of your systems or the existing solution. The second aspect of the solution is whether maybe after support, if your internal IT team wants to take it over, yes, we can give them a KT session. We can let them know and show them what the product is and what are the different areas where they can, if in case something happens and your internal IT team wants to handle it by yourself, what are the areas they need to look into it. So we can always do a proper handshake over to your internal IT team so that they can manage it by themselves going forward. So we won't leave you dry once the implementation is over.
It's great. Any more questions, folks? We have a few more minutes. All right, and I see that Rajiv has put out the poll. Hopefully, you've gotten the chance to answer that. Again, these poll questions, the results of these poll questions inform us of what you want to see from our other partners in future webinars. And with that, I want to thank the crew at Syntara. Thank you, Jenna, Ben, and Samir. If I can ask you, Jenna, or Ben, to put up that QR code again, let's just show everybody that last slide so that they want to take a snapshot. There you go. Thank you. So if you have opted in as an attendee for your information to be shared to the partner Syntara, then they can contact you if you have any interest. The alternative would be to take a picture of this QR code, and that'll take you to their website where you can schedule a free solution assessment. And with that, I would like to thank our partners again at Syntara. This was a really great webinar. Jenna, were there any parting words you wanted to say?
Yeah, thank you so much, Lynn, for facilitating this. And if you have kind of just one or two questions for me, please feel free to reach out to me directly. My email, my phone number is right here. If you're not quite ready to sign up for an assessment in the trial period, we're happy to answer any more questions that you and your team have. And we're really excited to see if we can drive some opportunity and increase efficiency with your organization. So I appreciate everybody's time today. Look forward to hearing from some of you as well.
Perfect. Well, thanks everybody for taking time to get on this webinar. I hope you find it useful. Again, thank you to our partners at Syntara, and we will see you folks again in our next webinar. Have a great week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.